Joe Rogan. What are we doing? All right, here we go.
Joe Rogan podcast, check it out.
The Joe.
Right.
That's what's really going on. They don't,
You know, but they didn't necessarily do music. You know, they're smarter than that.
And so I only know of you from the videos that you put up on Instagram. And specifically, I think it was the United Healthcare guy was the first one.
Yeah.
Right? Which was really good, dude. It's the lyrics, and the timing of it all. You captured the moment. And that song, to me, was like, yeah, that's what the fuck is going on.
Right.
That's what's really going on. They don't give a shit about you, and they're just trying to make money. And
it's almost good that Joe Rogan's bald. Can you imagine he had a full set, like, head of hair and it was like sort of coiffed over? It just would be wrong. It would look really funny, wouldn't it? If you had like a big, like, sort of like an in haircut. You know, the in haircut? Really funny though.
that's why when this guy got shot, there was this reaction from people.
Yeah.
Which is very rare when someone gets assassinated, when people are...
Who the heck is this? This guy is Jesse Welles. He's a prolific songwriter, singer-songwriter. He's also a really good guitarist. Mostly what you hear of him is like this folk activism, Woody Guthrie, Bob Dylan-y kind of like commentary, Phil Oakes of our time, right? There's always a singer-songwriter of the time that just simply puts how things are, which he's really effective at. I gotta admit. I'm a bit jealous of his ability to write a song so quickly, memorize the lyrics so quickly, and actually perform it so quickly. And now he's getting launched into overnight, basically, super stardom. And now he's in these like strange scenarios where he's doing interviews. And it's always been the case that really artsy, sort of inward people, when they're thrown into the limelight, they're very uncomfortable. So I'm not going to critique him because he's uncomfortable. I'm just going to see where he's at. You know what I mean? I'm going to see where he's at. I don't know this thing he's doing, though. It's like, I don't know if it's a bit or it's a shielding mechanism. But Jesse Welles has this like perpetual strung out guy from the 60s thing going on, where it's like any question you give this guy, it could be like, how was Great Adventure? Did you go on the roller coaster? And he'd be all, yeah, man, it's like, there's a lot of lines, you know, wait on, and it's the loop-de-loo is worth it, you know. It's like the loop-de-loo is worth it, and that's kind of what life has been like for me, man. And you just kind of want to you just kind of want to do the ice bucket challenge, and just like, wake up!
or celebrate.
Right.
Stevenstein upgraded his membership. He had to be an aristocrat. There's more power in that. He's better than everybody. Anyone who's not, clearly.
When someone's not like a mass murderer or something.
It was bizarre.
It was bizarre.
It's I mean, it must mean something is up.
So you're telling me Joe Rogan doesn't have a shower at his studio? Is that what you're saying?
If people are celebrating
Yes.
somebody's death,
Yes.
something is wrong.
And across both.
That's not always true. Galactic Contradiction, $5. Hey, Jimbob, did you see that Matt Powell challenged living orthodoxy to a debate after that sermon he did? This should be interesting. Oh, that's good. Who's living orthodoxy, though? I'll have to check them out. That's great. I hope living orthodoxy disembowels him, metaphorically. $5, no one. Thank you. Please, Jimbob, make more videos on Mormonism. It's growing faster than people think. Please have more debates. Okay, I will look at that. If not, I will do skits. Do more skits. Tony and I will definitely do a Mormon skit. That's for sure.
Sides of the aisle. It's not a political thing. It is a human thing.
Yeah.
They're like, these people, they take your fucking money, you pay them, and then when something comes up, you don't get covered.
Mm-hmm.
And there doesn't seem to be any repercussions, and to fight it, you have to go to court.
Jimbob doesn't know who Father Mikhail is. Well, I don't know the names of a lot of people. I certainly don't know the names of the channels of the people who also have names.
And you
If you show me a picture, I'll probably be like, oh yeah, I've watched a bunch of videos.
usually don't have the money to go to court. And they have.
I mean, don't piety signal. Don't internet orthodoxy piety signal. What is this? What's better? Know the names of the people in your parish or know an online father who has a YouTube channel? I choose the former.
Have a lot of fucking money.
Right.
And they, have been doing this for a long time, and now they're using AI to make sure that they pay less. So they're using AI to approve cases.
You don't know the names of the people that you don't know the names of them?
And the numbers are even lower than they were before. So United Healthcare always had a lower number than industry standard, right?
Yeah.
Now it's even, with AI, they're going to be able to chop it down to even lower. It's like, at what point in time does this become against the law? Like, at what point in time is this like, is a con game? Like, you're paying, you're thinking you're going to get covered, and they're like, nah.
Wow, this is a new take, Joe. That health insurance is a scam. Wow. We're really getting somewhere. I can't even believe it's 2025 finally. Someone. It took a singer-songwriter in the woods and Joe Rogan to establish that health insurance is largely a scam. We should have a parade.
The system would have to be revolutionized. I mean, you can't have health for profit at that point. You'd have to socialize the medicine at some point.
You little commie, you little dirty commie. You look like a used candy wrapper. You look like a little sticky gum wrapper that someone found under the seat. Yeah, man, you're gonna just like socialize it, man, because that's when it's going on, man. Man. What do you know? Play some chords. The transition between artist and activist is like so quick. And unfortunately, it's happened in comedy. Didn't anyone see the documentary we just witnessed yesterday? Yeah, man. So I guess like if there are greedy people, we might as well turn to socialism, man. Yeah. You little commie scum. Hey, Jesse Welles, who's going to be the force arm that institutes communism? Is it going to be you little toothpick? Yeah, man. Yeah, bro.
Which I agree with.
What do you mean you agree with? You agree with socialized healthcare, Joe Rogan? What are you extra shiny today?
Up until a point.
Look like you fried an egg on your head.
The problem is human nature, and if you hurt your shoulder, and you need to get an operation on your shoulder, you want to go to a guy who does the Lakers. You know what I mean?
Right.
You want to go to a guy who is like, this motherfucker is the cream of the crop. He is dialed in. He's been doing this forever. He's super focused and motivated, and he drives a fucking Mercedes, right?
Right.
The reason why he drives a Mercedes, he makes a lot of money doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
You don't want someone to not feel appreciated, not have the motivation to continue to get really great at their craft.
Man.
Like there's a thing with just human beings. There's a financial motivation that people have because it's a quantitative thing.
Joe is right about one thing. We're talking about the nature of humans. So regardless of the system, you're going to have greedy people who have no moral backbone, and they're going to do whatever they want and whatever they can get away with to get what they want. And that's it. I mean, grow up. Yeah, man, but if we just change the system, man, maybe if I play the right song, man, we can change the system where people aren't greedy anymore, man.
You can see it on a ledger. You know that you're making more money because you're doing this and you're working harder and you're getting this reward, whether or not it makes sense or not. As soon as you eliminate that and everybody gets the same amount of money and then you lose all the killers.
Right.
You lose all the...
No, all I mean is that you just don't want to have to go to an urgent care and it costs $500 to get a pack of antibiotics.
100%. Well,
You know?
that's a giant scam.
So, but that's a scam that so many folks are stuck in, you know.
That's only part of the scam.
Why don't you cry about it?
You know, the healthcare scam.
Why don't you put a little bottle on the end of your guitar? Why don't you make a tuner that also feeds you breast milk?
It goes so deep There's so many different layers
Why don't you fill your guitar with milk?
to this fucking horrible den of vampires.
Right.
You
know, 'cause it's-
If I didn't have a beard, I would immediately be doing a. I guess I could still do it. I mean, I did Tucker Carlson with a beard. Don't clip that. This guy's got to be made fun of. I mean, SNL should be already on top of this, but they're not. They're behind.
Whenever you can make profit off of people, and you're involved in a corporation, and then the
You mean like you? You mean like how you prop up terrible comedians and you facilitate terrible Netflix authorized stand-up comedy specials? And you make tons of money off of it, and it's trash? It's absolutely trash.
corporation has an interest for its stockholders want more money every year. They want more money every quarter. So that's what they try to do. That's their focus. And when you're doing that with people's lives,
Cut your beard off, they are cringe. Beards are not cringe. Not even close. Gary Newman.
it's in people's health, like that should be illegal. That's where it gets fucked.
I suppose that's why folks were. It was upsetting to see. I felt like I actually had kind of an unpopular opinion about it, and that why are we celebrating somebody's death? Like that seems far out.
Far out, man. Far out, man. I'd stare death down one time in a napkin, through a napkin, man. This far out, man. Hello? Sir, can we get your drive-through order, please? There's a lot of cars behind you. Man. He has heroin face. Yeah. There's people who have wheelchair head. There's people who have Mormon face. He has heroin head. Heroin face. Yeah, man.
Just
Far out, bro.
to celebrate the murder
Get some sleep, bro. Get some sleep.
of somebody with a gun.
Not only that, I believe
Are you okay, buddy? Someone with a gun. I mean, would it change? Would murder be less wrong if it was with a fist? Fun statistic. There are more deaths caused by fists than rifles.
unrelated to him in his case.
Heroin head.
I mean, how far out is that? And so I
Far out, man. How far out is that? Are you doing a bit? You know what I mean? Did you just study documentaries about music and Woodstock from the 60s and 70s and just imitate what you were hearing? You know what he looks like? He reminds me exactly of that one Jewy guy who actually orchestrated Woodstock. Anyone know his name? He was the guy who made Woodstock happen. This guy is like the embodiment of him. I gotta look him up now. Here, I'll just keep playing while I look this up.
I didn't want, I make these tunes, but that one in particular, I was like, how
they're
do
tunes. You got
how do I
it.
address this?
You gotta call them tunes also. Jeez, dude.
What do you even say?
I'm gonna beat him up.
So how do you approach something like that? Do you sit down with a pad and pen, or do you start writing? Like how do you start singing?
Step one is avoid the work. So I went I went for some long jogs. I wrote a song about Amazon instead, and put up like Amazon is Santa
Michael
Claus.
Lang.
And I kept sitting there,
Michael
and
Lang.
it kept getting, the situation was snowballing with the United Healthcare.
Dude, this
thing,
guy
and I
is
was
the
like, okay, you're
embodiment
right.
of him.
And at that point, it's a research project. Let's write 2,000 words so that we can have 300 to sing, and boil down the essence of the issue, and make it rhyme, and put a jolly tune behind it. That's kind of how that goes about.
That sounds like super similar to stand-up comedy.
Yeah, I
You
think
boil it down.
Wow, that's amazing, Joe. Wow. So what you're saying is expressive art is about boiling it down things about the world and then saying them in a unique way. I mean, there is just endless folders opening up in this conversation. Can we stop making this character? We're making him live, Column Rock. He's becoming our thoughts.
yeah. Get and
So beautiful.
and you don't.
Thank you, Joe. Very cool. Right on. He has to say right on in the next 50 seconds.
It's just punchlines.
He should be in the dumpster in the next skit. That's hilarious. That would actually play perfectly.
So find the punchline of everything. Find the punchline of everything. I never had the attention span to tell.
Stephen Douglas says, if I hear the comedian speak truth to power speech one more time, I know, dude, I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it.
Much of a story or anything like that. So I like just keeping it
His real name's Jacob Zimmerman. That would be funny.
in punchlines. So I always like,
David Welgenberg.
Mitch Hedberg and Stephen Wright. We're so
Right.
good at that. Just come out and lay out a bunch of punchlines immediately. If one doesn't land, on to the next one.
Well, that was the daunting thing about their act, which is so impressive, is that it's all non sequiturs. So every subject is new.
Yeah.
Every time they open their mouth, it's a new subject.
Right.
Which is kind of crazy. It's a crazy way to do comedy.
Yeah.
But when you're an absurdist, it's probably the best way because it's an absurd way to think, right? You're just going from one subject to the next in each minute burst.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me if I want a frozen banana, and I said no, but I want a regular banana later, so yes.
Yeah.
That's like such a ridiculous joke. I used to love listening to him in particular when I was in traffic because it would like chill me out. Like if I was headed to the airport in LA and it was just fucking clusterfuck on the highway, I would just throw on some Mitch Hedberg and just start giggling. It was just silly,
He's one of the coolest.
He was awesome. He was awesome.
There's actually a guy who performed at Kill Tony, which is not funny, Jules, who did really probably the best impression of Mitch Hedberg with original jokes that I've ever seen. It was really bizarre. And he was playing it off like it was like a coincidence. He was just like, no. But as it turns out, we looked into early work or early videos of this guy, and he's not doing Mitch Hedberg. He's not doing the full autistic thing. So it was a bit, but he was really good at it. You should look it up. It's uncanny. His jokes, like to imitate Mitch Hedberg's colloquialisms and his idiosyncrasies is one thing, but to be able to write a joke like Mitch Hedberg would write a joke, to think like that is is kind of impressive.
Let's play that song. Jamie, can you find that one? The United
Jamie?
Healthcare song? I want to play it so people know what we're talking about.
Copyright strike. Blah 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 blah.
In the
that come up and turns them into a catchy tune.
You guys like my work around the copyright? I'm going to do that from now on.
And does it in a way where you laid out, really the problem and the whole thing, like you said in punchlines.
Yeah. There's a lot of folks.
Yeah, man. There are folks. Dude, this guy has it down. I mean, he has it down. He calls songs tunes. He calls people folks. He's got it all down.
Doing it right
He probably calls a plate a dish.
now, and more every day. But there's a precedent for that kind of work.
This guy says, "Hey, what are you doing, Jesse?" And he's all, I think I'm going to get a tea, man. I think I'm going to get myself a tea.
Especially as far as like what he got.
I think, I think I'm going to just kind of rest up and get myself a tea and hold the mug with two hands. Like it doesn't have a handle, man. It's
Guthrie was really
far out, man.
I was reading
He calls dinner supper.
reading a Woody Guthrie biography.
Of course you were. Those early dirty commies. Was it Pete Seeger? Was he the one? They're all a bunch of commies. That was like the beginning. Obviously, art has always been a part of propaganda. I would consider myself a type of propagandist myself with my comics. But like this concentrated use of folk music to then do some sort of activism. There was a unique moment in time for that. And it's continued. And it's bled into every other art form. Like Bill Hicks, essentially. Shout out to Alex Jones. Bill Hicks was a type of activist through comedy, where it became like piety signaling, some sort of justice warrior demonstration, where you're mad at something and something's got to change, and then you get all serious, and then everything's significant. Why are we trashing this guy, I Heart Seamus? Why don't you just listen? You're not good at listening, I Heart Seamus. We're trashing him because he's a cliche. Man, he's very talented. I already gave him props. So you notice how you guys, people like you only hear the things that are criticized instead of the compliments. This guy is a prolific writer. He's a good musician. He can write. He can sing. He can play really good guitar. He's talented. But he's a cliche.
And my old man was in
He's a commie.
the hospital. He had just
And another word bank. Old man. We should have bingo. I wish I made a bingo card for this. Old man, tunes.
had a heart attack, and we didn't know like what way it was gonna go or whatever. Anyway, I don't know. Just seeing him all hooked up to that stuff and thinking, if he died, I've hardly had any time to even know him. He's hardly had any time to know anything. We don't.
No, his guitar skills are as good as... No, he's way better than Dylan. No. He did rock before folk, Larry. I thought that too. No. He can rip. The dude can shred. Like, it sounds nothing like what you're hearing in these videos. That's why it's like a bit sus. If I were to be a truther, it's a bit sus. Where someone's like, super rock, I mean just shredding up the guitar solos, rock, hard, ripping solos. And then after that, you're sort of just like out of nowhere designated to just activism. It's a bit strange. As my son would say, it's a bit strange.
Don't get very long down here, and I'm reading this Woody Guthrie biography, and I was just like,
he's better than Dylan. He's actually way better at Troy's dog training. He's better than a lot of guitarists I've seen.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna sing the news, because that's really what Woody was kind of doing in his day, because there's folk music around him, and he team up with Pete Seeger, and he was on radio programs, and he could have played. He had the choice. He could have played standards. He could have played country western music, and stuff like that. But he liked making folks laugh, and he liked telling it how it was. I like both those things.
I saw Woody Guthrie live when I was a little kid in San Francisco.
And
that's where it all started, Joe.
Arlo or Woody?
I think Woody.
Woody? No, it couldn't have been Woody. Woody was like dying when Bob Dylan was coming on the scene in the 60s, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's definitely wrong. I think he's pretty wrong on this. I don't think so. Pretty sure Woody Guthrie was in a hospital. Bob Dylan visiting him in the hospital as he's dying. And he's like, Bob Dylan's like simping for him. Sign my guitar. Sign my guitar. Here you're going.
Which one was alive back then? Was it Arlo?
Yeah, when he died.
Okay, so it must have been Arlo. So it was 19, let me guess the year. I was 11?
Yeah.
So maybe, yeah.
Hurricane Havoc says, Jimbob, my wife works for United, and what Joe Rogan is saying isn't really accurate. I believe that.
10 or 11.
Yeah.
No, it was San Francisco, so it had to be, I lived there until I was 11, so it was probably around 9.
Woody was a commie? Yeah, Seeger, they're all commies. This guy's a commie, too. I mean, notice how Joe's talking around the politics. Now, I understand that you have to have a good guest, and you don't want him to run away or feel uncomfortable. That's part of having a show. You actually want your guests to be comfortable. But at the same time, you could challenge them. And I don't know, Jesse, I didn't watch the whole thing, and I'm not going to, but I highly doubt he's challenged. Is that because Joe Rogan doesn't know how to challenge people, or is he just doesn't care? Like, he doesn't have the capacity to challenge, or does he not care?
9 or 10, now that I think about it. But yeah, he performed live. God, I wish I could remember more of it.
And Arlo played.
John Yates says, Connection has asked for me. Just wanted to see if anyone would pray for my grandfather. He's getting triple bypass surgery. Yeah, if you're comfortable, just, John, tell the chat his name, first name.
Played this kind of, he went a little more surreal with it, which is super groovy. But
where's my bingo card? Who's that sweaty, stinky lady from the 60s? He kind of reminds me of her, actually. What's her name? She used to yell a lot, scream and yell and smell and sweat and do lots of drugs. What's her name?
he carried on the torch for his old man.
So Woody died in what?
His old man. Bingo. I got bingo in the back corner. Jimbob, you win. What do I get?
What year?
Not Joan Baez. No, the other stinky, loud, stinky, bell-bottom, screaming, nasty wench. Yeah, Joplin. Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah, he's got the vibe of Janis Joplin. Because I was trying to, place him, and I was like, oh, is it that dude? Is it that? No, it's actually Janis Joplin. He even looks like her.
67.
Yeah, 67. He got a Huntington's disease and was laid up in a home for quite a while. He lost the ability to speak and everything.
What is Huntington's disease?
A rare genetic disorder. I don't really know what it does.
Wait, Joe, you've never heard of Huntington's disease?
Other than,
I mean, I couldn't tell you the intricacies of Huntington's disease, but I certainly wouldn't be like, what's a Prius?
Yeah, look, he was pretty young.
Breakdown of nerve cells in the brain.
Yeah.
His mother also suffered from this.
I don't, and maybe he's a continuation of.
All her band look like this guy. I just want to brush his hair. I mean, he looks like one of my kids before school. I'm like, what are you doing? You're going to go out in public like this? Yeah, man, I don't care, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. There's an in-between, okay? You don't want someone to show up in a leather jacket and have his hair feathered, then it'd be like, oh, like Billy Strings did that. I followed Billy Strings when he used to look like this guy, and I was like, okay, this dude's a legit player. He's gifted, this kid. And then he gets picked up by Hollywood, and I turn a page, and his hair is feathered. He looks like Farrah Fawcett. And he's all posing like I'm like, dude, what happened? So if I'm going to choose between looking like Not So Erudite as a folk singer or like being blown out because you got co-opted by Hollywood and now they need to present you as some pristine gem, I think I'd take the former. So I'll let off a little, but I do want him to shower. I do want him to brush his hair at least. Man.
Of a long
Don't harsh my vibe, old man.
standing human tradition of like bards going from town to town and singing the news. I don't know, maybe there was some medieval dude going around singing about the king.
I
You
doubt
know,
it.
and I don't know, but maybe there
I'm
was.
sure.
Just because I don't know if it's a uniquely American tradition, but when I do it, I get romantic about it and kind of think of it as a uniquely American tradition, because you got the freedom to do it,
Right.
and no one's gunning me down in the field there or anything for anything I say, you know.
Well, that's not a win. Commie.
So I get to, you know.
Yeah, that's why I doubt if anybody was ever doing
You little commie dirtbag.
anything the way you do it when they were.
Trust fund hippie? I wonder. I don't think so. Maybe, though. You never know. But maybe. No, I think he has a legitimate grassroots upbringing of, like, poor... Where is it? Virginia or somewhere? Somewhere in the woods. But he's found his way into just commie. Like, just straight up cliche activist commie drivel. It's utopianism. It's Jewy. It's tikkun olam, but with a hacky sack. It's, you know what I mean? It's heal the world, but with a Martin guitar.
We're doing it about the king. It's like, dude, find that dude.
The knights go hunt him down or something.
Yeah, maybe a few guys tried,
For a man.
but I bet they killed him.
Or
For sure.
maybe you hired, you co-opted the bard, you turned him into your fool. You're just
Oh, you're losing your raspy voice. Suddenly you're speaking clearly with a pronounced voice. What's happening here?
or whatever, and then he sang songs for you about how fat the neighbor king was.
I think that's a different guy. I think you're dealing with a different guy. The guy who is the jester. That's the fucking vampire familiar. You know, like in Blade.
Has anyone made a Woodstock looking sort of shirt, but it says Tavistock instead of Woodstock? I'm sure it's not an original. That's not original, Jimbob. Stop it. Be unique. Anyway, I think that would be a good t-shirt in that like 70s like wobbly letters.
The guys want to get close to the vampires
Yeah.
because they eventually one day want to be a vampire. They promised it.
Who was in Lord of the Rings? Who was like Theoden's dude? Worm tongue?
Yeah, man.
Something? Anyway,
I don't remember. I don't remember.
people very close.
But that's always the Dracula story. There's always a familiar. There's always a human that does the bidding of the vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, perfect. Exactly. Yeah, same kind of guy. Fucking creep with
Oh my
a
gosh.
questionable kind of care that they were getting. But mushrooms illegal. It's overwhelming. You can leave and look at those patterns. You're just fighting against so much gravity and so much momentum,
Right.
and then whatever the life that you've chosen, you're around the.
Bro used to front a band named Dead Indian. Then after that was a front band for Cosmic American. There are themes here. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. You know who needs to do a cover, who needs to do a deep dive is the Elephant Graveyard needs to do a whole 1 hour stream on Jesse Wells.
the same people. There's so many things that make it very difficult to really change your life outside of escaping briefly and getting a look at it from some.
So it's like Ibogaine, like smooth out all the ruts. Or?
Ibogaine, so I've never done it, so I can't really. Well, the weird thing is, if anybody wants to start a new church now, like, good luck. They'll crawl up your fucking. It's called in Mexico that former Republican Governor Rick Perry is an advocate of this.
Right.
And he went to that. Is it Beyond? BEOND. They've for the longest time they've been doing these things down in Mexico because it's legal there.
Right. Does ayahuasca do something similar?
Yes. That's a lot of people go down to Costa Rica and do that, or there's certain churches that have a religious exemption in America.
Right.
Which is wild.
What?
You go to church and really meet Jesus?
Yeah.
Like for real.
Go
Like,
out
are you
to
ready?
Utah or Wyoming.
Yeah.
You're such a little butt boy, Joe Rogan. No, Joe. Just stop it. Just stop it.
Yeah.
Like New Mexico, places like that.
Yeah.
Is like, somewhere where like, well, how many followers you got? You got 1,400?
Yeah.
All right, well, don't get too big.
I've been to a church and
Everything pushes toward this with Joe Rogan. Whatever deal he signed, whatever spiritual environment he's found himself in or chosen to be in, it's always a road to altering your brain, altering your mind. It's never a road toward narrowing that. It's never the other. It's always something else. And it really makes you wonder, because people have been like, Joe Rogan's a part of a big group. If you guys remember a guy named Matthew North, who unfortunately took his own life, that's the story, did a pretty deep dive on Joe Rogan and the connections with all of these sort of like neo-pharmaceuticals. It's like neo-pharmaceutical view where you take the drugs and instead of being packaged through the lens of the medical industry, which is obviously corrupt in various ways, the pharmaceutical industry, you repackage it to be like self-help. You repackage it to be pseudo-spiritual. You repackage it to be exploratory and new agey, and you gain stuff from it and all this stuff. And that's been his sort of thing that he's then used the comedy world to push. Because notice that all of the people that he puts up on stage, that community is steeped in substances. And it's just wild to look at it from that lens that there's multiple aspects of Joe Rogan's operation. And I think that he kind of sees it from the view of like, well, if there's going to be a counter industry to the pharmaceutical, we can take the things we think are good in the pharmaceutical world, repackage it with some sort of coolness to it. Oh, it's cool. It's not in this cold, sterile, medical, pharmaceutical lens. It's cool. And he's done it. And, it makes you wonder because he's always pushing it. He's always pushing it. He never pushes against it. He pushes for it.
in a couple basements. Like,
really? Well, the weird thing is, if anybody wants to start a new church now, like, good luck. They'll crawl up your fucking ass with a microscope. Like, if you want to start a new church now, it better be a Christian church. Like, you better be following the same religions that the people have been following for thousands and thousands of years. Because if you try to cook up a new religion today, they will Waco you, son. They will fucking...
That's not true at all, by the way. That's not true at all. Using Waco as one example to argue that you can't start a new church, Joe Rogan is historically illiterate. There's a new, quote, church, a heretical church, every Tuesday that starts up. There's probably as many churches that start as there are minivan car crashes, specifically. What is he saying? What is this?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you get a good following.
Religions, they get weirder and weird. I don't like in America. They get weirder and weirder. Kind of the more west we went, the more we manifest destiny out.
Point.
Because like, you have like Puritan pilgrims land and, you know, in New England, and
You have Puritans and land. I'm sorry, is that a sentence?
the weirdest of them move a little bit more west, or they just go to, the Quakers just go to like Nantucket, you know, to be on an island and be isolated. But, you know, eventually in about 100 years, you've got Mormons,
Yep.
you know, and then give it enough.
Yeah, what is he talking about, dude? Mormonism was literally fabricated from thin air. I mean, with the perversion of the Bible, like not totally thin air, like taking something that's good and true and long-standing and bound by holy tradition and practice and revelation, and then it's perverted and suddenly you could start it. What is Joe Rogan talking about?
Another 100-something years. Then you got Scientology out in California,
Yep.
right?
Have you seen American Primeval? The Netflix series?
No.
Really good. Really good. And it's about, you know, the settling of the West, but a big
Right.
part of it is the Mormons.
Right.
And how fucking gangster we think of Mormons as being like these really sweet people, like,
No.
not back then.
No. Nothing was in the West, man.
Yeah.
It was.
Man, it's bandits and train bandits, man, and revolvers, man. Nothing's wholesome, man. Man. Yo, man. Yo, man. Can I get one of your bananas, man? Hey, man, can I pull a slice of your pizza, man? Hey, man.
Death incarnate. Like I don't know. I imagine it like Blood Meridian, like McCarthy's book, where basically, you know, like follows the story of like this kid who goes on a scalping mission, you know, where their job is to go down into Guadalajara and then come up in through the states, and they scalp pretty much everyone they meet indiscriminately, and then take those scalps back for dough. It's, you know, for a bounty.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry, Jesse Wells. You forgot to talk about what the Indian tribes were doing to each other, man. No, man. The native tribes were sitting and planted adjacent to each other, man, and they were just singing the same songs and wafting the same smoke signals, man. They were basically doing early form texting, bro. That's what it was like before a white man came in. Dude needs a smack. I want to hit him with a broom so bad. Right on his mop head. Brooms versus mops. Brooms versus mops. Broom wins. Man. They were all just sitting around, man, singing the same sing-song songs, man. That's what the Native Americans were like, man. They were noble savage, bro.
Just crazy. How much is a scalp's worth?
I don't know.
Imagine that. You just find some dude who's like fucking taking care of a lawn or something like that. Or
I'd take that
care of
over a
garden.
lobotomy.
A lawn.
My scalp is
Some people lived.
grow back. Yeah,
There's people that lived.
Yeah,
it's just really crazy.
I've seen that picture. It's like someone had been
Guy had a top hat on over this giant
wound
over the top of his head,
Yeah.
which I wonder how long he lived, because he basically had like an open skull.
Yeah, man. Bro.
Facing the earth.
Joe gets scalped? Joe, what are you worried about? What are you worried about, man? I'm just going to talk like this for the whole week. Hey, man. For those of you who don't follow Eartha Thugs, man, we got a great show, man, coming up this weekend, man. Go follow it, man. It's gonna be so fun. It's on Friday, I think. Friday at 5 p.m. or something like that. I gotta check, man. It's hard to keep this stuff in my head, man. It's gonna be Friday, man. Put it on your calendars, man. It's gonna be a real good show. Would he even call it a show? I'm trying to learn this guy's language. Like, everything has a different name, apparently.
Well, I guess you play dead while it's going
I don't.
down.
Maybe they just let him live.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This episode is brought
He says threads instead of clothing.
to you by Zipper.com. If you have a lawless country, which is essentially what the Wild West
what that was, yeah.
and then you offer up $8,000 every time you kill a person.
Yeah.
Sven Sharp Sword, $10. Thank you so much. We're at 6 of 50, y'all. It was on a wound on his head, man. The scalp was worth at least a box lunch, man.
Ooh, you can get rid of people quick.
And you're going to have the wildest of the wild are going to go out.
Mike Tyson as a stoner. Like, Mike Tyson goes full activism and folk singer. Mike Tyson becomes a activist, commie folk singer. Yeah, man. We need free healthcare, man. It's like this is why I got into singing songs. I wanted to sing songs because I want to see the heart of man. You know, man. It's like groovy. I mean, this is like it's groovy. It's like change the world and make it a better place for you and for me, man.
there and tame that land, man.
He like somehow has like hair, and if it's like straight white people hair on Mike Tyson, he's all playing a freaking tenor guitar.
The craziest of the crazy.
I swear, man, we gotta fix this. This is broken. It's broken and unfair. We gotta have justice. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Yeah.
And that's essentially
Calls him out.
oof.
And
that wasn't that long ago,
No.
man. That's what's so crazy.
It's crazy,
You know,
man. That's crazy, man. Everything's crazy. That's crazy. $10. Squinty eyes, breathy vocal fries. I'm taking notes, man. Man.
We're talking about 150 years? Like, what is it? But how long ago was it? Not that long ago. In California, scalp
Jamie, bring it up.
warfare
Jamie, bring it up.
eliminated nearly 90% of some tribal populations. Holy fuck,
were
man.
they doing that into the 1890s?
Oh, dude, you guys are so stupid. Why are you focusing on that, Joe? Why don't you focus on how brutal, I don't know, the Mohegans were before white men show up with boat? This pisses me off, dude. This is like standpoint theory for people with feathers in their hair.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's 135 years ago.
Oh my gosh. Wow, Joe.
How
How crazy is that? That's crazy. That's crazy. Galactic Contradiction, thank you so much. $10 brings us up to 8 of 50, y'all. Hey, man, one time I was so high I had to pee and I got it all over my boots, man. What would he call boots, though? Not cool. Then my girlfriend told me she was a dude, man. It was like, not cool at all. Now I'm gay, man. I didn't even know it, man. Didn't even know it, man. What would he call boots? Maybe he would say boots. Moccasins, galoshes. Man, I got a new pair of galoshes.
how crazy is that?
How crazy is that? Time goes by. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy.
It's pretty wild.
That's hard
It's pretty wild, man.
to believe.
You,
Direct government support for bounty payouts. Whoa. Direct government support for bounty payouts with blunt calls for the extermination of tribes and mass murder of men, women, and children.
Where's that video game, Battlefield? Hello? We're waiting. What do I have to teach everybody everything?
Provides an important new perspective on the question of genocide across the long arc of Euro-American
The body odor? Oh yeah, dude.
interaction with
I don't
Native
care about that
communities.
stuff, man.
The Apache scalp that FBI agents seized in 2022 is one of thousands, perhaps tens of thousands, that were taken, redeemed, displayed, and in rare cases like this one, preserved as a part of a long and gruesome history of scalp warfare.
Wow, man.
So,
Joe Rogan actually has a froggy voice. I've been always frustrated that I can't impersonate him because he has such a, almost like a not unique voice, but it's hard to pinpoint what the hell's going on. Because how I do impressions, I don't know if you guys do this as a hobby, but the first thing you do when you try to impersonate someone, you just try to hit a tone that they have. That's it. No words, no saying things, just a tone. And I honestly can't get his tone. It's like something like... That's it. That's all I got.
So it was in an auction house? That's how they found it? Whoa. FBI investigating Apache scalp seized from Fairfield auction house. The item was seized from the Pauline Antiques and Auction House as part of an investigation into the illegal
heavy,
trafficking
man.
of human
It's all
remains.
so heavy, man.
Whoa.
And like when
Everybody now.
Someone kept that.
when does the karma come in on this?
Karma? Oh, man, I'm going to find you. I'm going to find you.
When does the karma come in, man?
Dude, karma is... Do I have to do this?
When does the karma come in, broski?
Bloodshed that founded.
Well, I'm certain it did for the individuals involved.
I wonder if it's generational. If the
Anyone else have a bug assault?
these things,
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm just bug assault them.
if the universe will continue
Kicks.
to
Yeah. Okay, good. He calls his boost kicks.
sort itself out
Well, I think
over this time.
I think this is a very unique time for.
Did he just say the universe is going to sort itself out over this time? This is what's so frustrating. If you're wondering why I'm so annoyed at this guy, it's in contrast to his talent, okay? That's what's so annoying. You know why? Because I see other people through their gifts. I see their gifts. That's like something I focus on that somehow just shows up to me. I see the gifts. And so I always see the good because I equate the gifts that they have with the good. And I go, okay, gifts. Let's do this. You know, I'm like, oh, you're gifted. It's amazing.
And he's like, yeah, man. Savages were good. White man bad, man. We gotta fix the world. Make it a better place. Oh, man. Man.
For understanding people, you know, I think we have to.
When's the universe gonna fall into alignment?
You know, when people look at all the conflict and all the drama with human beings right now.
Jimbob, you give all your mods Bug Assault? Yeah, Bug Assault, the company, is a big fans of mine, so they send me every year all the new stuff. And they give me too much, so I have to give it away.
You have to realize,
give it away now.
It's like, yes, we could certainly live better lives, and we can certainly have a better civilization than we have right now. We can do better. But we also have to realize what we're coming from. Like, to make an adjustment from 1890 to 2025, I mean, this is a big swing of this fucking battleship.
Unrecognizable.
People were horrible all throughout human history. And I think that's what we really have to come to grips with. It's not just, I mean, we can go back to the Mongol invasions in the 19, what is year, the year 1200? How long ago was that? What year was that? with the Mongols. I think it was in the 1200s. You know, I mean,
Yeah, but the other thing is, Joe Rogan, there's something about the past that has some sort of rigid identity between nations that was lost. And so while it's true that the savagery and the brutality of the times, given technology and all sorts of other variables, yes, that's true. Life was brutal, but it would be brutal even if there wasn't war. The reality of living off the land with no war would still be brutal. It's not like it ends. It's not like the state of affairs is suddenly better if you just push a button on warfare, tribalism, whatever. But the thing is, Joe, is that this sort of consolidation of all people in a blurry gray sludge called diversity, and the the forfeiting of borders, the diluting of cultures and peoples and languages, and smashing them all together into one thing. Honestly, looking at it, you can't just be partial and be like, well, at least it wasn't it. At least we don't have that world. It's not that simple of an analysis, and I'm so tired of the laziness here. Everyone looks at the past and they just think, oh, it's brutal. Yeah, it was brutal, but you have to still include what elements were there that have been completely dismantled since. Zero identity, zero national, ethnic, people identity. There's zero unifying identity. You know what I mean? Like modernity and immigration and all of it mixed, all of it, technology, the whole thing mixed in together has produced the only unifying factor for humans in a lot of places. America is one of those places. It's not even the Constitution. It's consumerism. It's materialism. That's the only unifying thing. If you mix all the cultures, all the languages, all the values together in a big bundle, you have to unify it with something, because those things aren't the things that are unifying. Those are in disunity. But what's in unity? Being the rational man, the homo economicus, as it's called, the one who goes off and through his own reasoning and faculties decides what he wants in life, right? Individualism. It's worse in a different way. It's worse in a different way. Snagglebeast says $2. Goal. Yes, please. Help me get to the goal, y'all. 11 out of 50. This is honestly a slow start. Is it the man thing? Is it the content? Is it man? Maybe it is. But I have to plow through it though. I have to do it. It's my job. My Jortlandia tithing. God bless. Thank you so much, Adam. Appreciate that. Very generous.
The Inquisition. We can go to World War I, World War II. People were fucking horrible forever.
I'd rather be spiritually connected to nature in a tribal sense than be religious and superstitious, disconnected from nature. No, that's incoherent, truth spreader. Spiritually means nothing without a foundation that ultimately is religious. Truth spreader. Saying I'm spiritual, not religious, is like saying, I like letters but not words. I like words but not meaning. It's ambiguous. It's like nothing. You're saying nothing. Spiritually means nothing if there's no epistemology, metaphysics, and ethics. What is the ethics of spiritually connected to nature, pagan? Not to be harsh on you, truth spreader, but you don't even have a basis for truth saying truth spreader if you're going to ground your spirituality in nature itself. Don't get me started. I have a bug assault gun. It was like $2 for these rawhide kicks, man. And
it's just more people are talking about it now than
Christianity. Oh, that's another point, Justin. Christianity is connected to nature. And actually, Christianity makes sense of nature. And not only that, but our participation in God is through matter. Not through nature in a pagan sense. Not like through a tree. But There is the physical nature and the regularity of nature, and there's the world that's in a certain state. Christianity makes sense of the state that nature is in. If you said why would you connect to nature from a spiritual lens if nature itself is brutal and fallen? Truth spreader. You know what I mean? This is like silly Owen Benjamin level takes. Back to the land, but there's no knowable God. It's very Jewy. It's like pagan Jewy. Galactic Contradiction, $5. This is why I stick to metal music. Better talent, better guitarists, and most of the time are way more based for the goal. Thank you so much.
Never before. You know, you had universities in America.
See, this is where I could come in as a folk singer. I have the opportunity. I'm not as good as Jesse Wells. I'm not as prolific. I'm not as talented. However, there aren't many folk singers, you know, in that style, that folk style of Travis picking, you know, yipping and yelling, who do like more grounded based content. They're always activists. They're always like,
We're gonna fix the world, man.
America, which were the anti-war movement started in the 1960s, and the hippies, and they were starting to get acid and realize like there's more to life. Like this is bullshit. The way our parents are living is bullshit. They're miserable and they're gonna die. And it takes a long time to turn this big ass battleship around. But I think we have to give ourselves some understanding about the past.
well, Joe, it actually requires much more than that, because if you're going to use the battleship analogy, and this is what frustrates me, I'm sure it frustrates all of you when you hear people talking about it. If we granted that the battleship is a metaphor for civilization, and you're agreeing that we need to turn the battleship around, you are actually assuming there's a map. Now, Joe, I know you watch my show, Joe. If it's the case that we need to turn the battleship around, can you tell me what the map is? Can you tell me what true north is? No. Every time you get someone to agree that the battleship needs to be turned around, we're heading in a bad direction, they go, yeah, sure, I can grant that. And you go, cool. Do you have a direction? Do you have a map? Do you have a legend? Do you have true north? Do you have south? They're like, no, man, I'm against that. It's like back to relativism.
And realize, like, part of the reason why we're so fucked up today is, like, look what we come from.
Right.
Yeah, look where we come from. I know we can do better. We definitely can do better. We should do better. We should have a...
Silvar Ogre tried to connect to nature. That's really good, dude. Can I steal that? Can I do a comic of that with your permission? I really like that one.
Way better life. Way better...
Or did you steal it? Did you steal it from someone?
Society.
I really like that one, dude.
But look where we come from.
Right.
We come from madness.
It's really good.
Yeah. Absolute chaos.
Chaos, man.
Chaos and bloodshed, my friend.
Chaos and bloodshed, my friend. I'm so deep. I'm so deep. If I just say chaos and bloodshed, man, I'm gonna strike a chord in the emotions of the listener, man.
The ability
Chaos and
that
bloodshed, man.
a person has to sign off, a person in the government, say, yeah, okay, give them some money so they go kill some Indians.
Yeah, man.
Family. Give them $8,000 per scalp and a little less for the women and children.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing, Joe? You are acting like such a fake. He's breathing heavy. Oh, the Indians. Oh, man. Oh, it's just so heavy on my heart. Oh, man. What is he doing? What is this? This is so gay.
You know, 130 years ago, 140 years ago, 150
What are you gonna cry, Joe?
years ago. That's nothing, man.
Right.
Joe's a chameleon. He is. Why is he? What is this performance? This is so weird.
That's nothing. You know, that's your great grandpa. He was alive back then.
Oh man.
Hard to believe.
Oh man. Is this like? I feel like I'm watching a parody.
It's far out.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, Joe, you have a hacky sack, man? You have a hacky sack, man?
You know what's impossible? I'll tell you what's impossible. It's impossible that Jesse Welles didn't recently walk into the woods with a stick with a bandana filled with a peach. It's impossible that he didn't do that.
Yeah, man, I'm just going for a hike, man, in the woods. I got my stick, man, and I gotta think of peach. Peach is fine, man. Peach will do me good, man. Peach will get me by, man. It's only a couple miles, man.
And
It really is, man.
I wonder if things are, you know, probably seem a lot cleaner.
Cleaner, you say?
Man,
Bro, you can't talk about cleaner. Looks like you're gonna have a whole family of eagles gonna hatch out of your hair, brah.
cleaner, bro. Things get cleaner.
You clean yourself up. Jordan Peterson was right.
As far as chaos and bloodshed now in the Continental U.S. and the Union and stuff, but
What? The Continental and the Union and the U.S. and stuff? Wait, what's going on? You know what I think's happening here? I think what's happening here, I think this guy and everything he writes is ChatGPT. You know what I mean, man? Think about it. Think about it. His ability linguistically in his lyrics doesn't match at all the way he speaks. Isn't that a little bizarre? Isn't that a little inconsistent?
Man.
Seriously. I think you should be asked this question. Straight on, dead eye, Jesse Welles, do you use ChatGPT to write your songs? Because your speaking isn't even as close to as eloquent. It doesn't have the verbiage, doesn't have the vernacular, doesn't have all the word banks that you use, that your songs have, and you're just like real life interaction. You got nothing, dude. You got nothing. Not a single sort of rhetorical, witty response. You're a fraud. I want a scalp. I want a scalp! Man. I don't know if that's a logical follow, what I just said. But it's certainly a good inquiry, because it is true, if you look at examples of people who are well-spoken, who do performance and singing and songwriting, in person, they are quite witty. Even Bob Dylan, there wasn't AI then, right? He might have copied a lot of the format of his songs from people, but that's normal. But even though he was pure gibberator, even when he was talked to in interviews, his voice, not his sound of his voice, what he's speaking from, still carried through in his interviews. You notice that? He was still sharp. He was still sort of witty in his own way. He would respond quick. He would say things like, it would match the voice of his songs. This guy doesn't match the voice of his song. He sounds audibly like the voice of his songs, but he doesn't actually speak with the voice of his songs. This is very suspect.
who is sending folks to go do that abroad to protect the homeland, you know, under the auspices of protecting the homeland?
Who's doing the exact same thing as they were doing then, just in a different way.
Because I really think we stay as much as has changed, and we can measure that. We totally can. But I think also we stay the same. You know.
Wow, bro, that's so freaking deep. Have you considered writing that? Things change and it stays the same. Do you guys understand this? Like, that statement doesn't match the cleverness of his songs. Something not right here. This is off. This is inconsistent. There's something wrong here. Doesn't carry over.
Well, until we're forced to change. Yeah.
And that,
until we recognize the need to change collectively.
yeah.
But there has to be a discussion of it. It's not something that just organically happens. You know?
I think it totally makes sense. He's alone in the woods. He hadn't played with anybody. He's alone in the woods and he's writing songs every day. Now he's playing. Yes, he's singing. But now I'm questioning this because he's in the perfect scenario. Alone, doesn't work with anybody. He's in the woods and he's coming out with a song a day, and all of the songs are witty, lyrically whimsical, and all patched together in a theme. Just comes out like that. Dude can't even string 2 sentences together. Exposed, as Tony would say, wrecked. Wrecked, Jesse Welles, wrecked. You just got wrecked, bro.
I think of like, do you ever see this is Hollywood, but Apache?
Hollywood, bro. All right. Let's take a short little breather here because I need it. We're at 13 to 50. So let's take a little breather. Let's get a couple super chats going. Let's get some questions going even. I can't look at them for a second. Just forgive me. Now I'm getting mad. Because I think he's using it. I think we're going to see more of this, by the way. We're going to see more of this. Where the person tries in their previous world to do the thing, and then something alters and they break through, and then they, it doesn't make sense. This guy doesn't make sense. Thank you, Rob Knorr. Everyone say thanks, Rob, at the same time for your transfer. Galactic Contradiction, $5. Hey, man, one time I thought I was eating Jell-O, but it was actually some dude's brains, man. Had a real awakening in that moment, man. How easily brains can taste like Jell-O, bro. I think he's a fraud. Why was that alpaca on Joe Rogan? Was he lost? He does look like an alpaca. Actually, it would be funny to animate where he is just his head on an alpaca neck. I don't know. Taylor Swift claims that she writes her own songs. She doesn't strike me as witty or well. She co-writes. There's actually a dude, I forgot his name, who writes with her. They write together, but she gets all the credit. But that's documented. At least it's documented. Now, if that was the case, like, you just swap that singer-songwriter, the songwriter who's working as a ghostwriter alongside Taylor Swift, and you just say, well, it's AI, fine. But people won't say that. I think this is going to come out. I think it's going to be maybe years, but someone's going to catch this guy. Because it's intuitive, so it's not proof. But my intuition says the way this guy speaks in real life is in total contrast to his ability as a lyricist. Some of that should carry over. That's all I'm saying. Some of it should be so obvious where you're like, oh, really is an expression of him. Like the way he talks and the way he delivers sentences and his phraseology is quirky, unique, whimsical. That should carry through. It doesn't at all. Not even a little bit, though. Hey, man, you ever had a clear awakening moment? Man. Let's get those super chaps up. Pull up your chaps. We got an hour and 30 left, y'all. That's less than half. That's exactly halfway through, and we're not halfway through. So I'm gonna have to sit here and awkwardly pressure you.
Because that's how the world works, man. You know what I'm saying, man? It's like, don't be a freeloader like this guy, man. Y'all want to be like this guy? It's like any of y'all who aren't super chatting and supporting things you like, man. You're just another Jesse Welles, man. You want me to scalp you, man? I'll scalp you, man. I'll scalp you, man.
Jack Antonoff is the producer that works with Swift a bunch. His solo stuff is sick, though. Yeah, that would make sense. And she doesn't hide it. She's like, I work with this guy. There's a whole documentary where they like are writing an album and they're helping each other and stuff. So, have I seen the last Jubilee? Yeah. The problem with Jubilee is the moment you review it, they shut your whole stream down. So F Jubilee. You know, that's so stupid. It's like, it helps Jubilee for people to review Jubilee. A bunch of Bagelby. Benfold 5, thank you so much. $5 for the goal, man. Yeah, let's get some support for the goal, man. Get some support for the goal, bro. There we go. Thanks, Zorcht. Thank you for not being a freeloader, man. Does anyone have any good scalp recipes? Scalp soup? Scalp borscht? Scalp ramen? That's the real top ramen.
Man.
Are we not men? Bagels. What's going on?
Man.
Have you ever bust down a Jubilee? What do you mean bust down? Like watch one? Oh, Vagine coming in. Thank you, Vagine. It's very Indian of you.
Man.
Suzanne Griffith, $5, paying her taxes here in Jortlandia, as always, Suzanne. Even the women pay taxes. Where are you men right now? Why are the women paying your taxes in Jortlandia, men? What are you wearing, briefs? What do you have? Handleless mugs? What even is a goal, man? Just like let being one with the universe be your goal, man. Yeah, man. Let's just be one, man. When is the universe gonna reach equilibrium, man? That's what I'm wondering, man. Silvar Ogre, $10. Yellow and up. Thanks for the show. Thank you, Silvar Ogre. Also, did you give an answer on that? Was that your joke? And if it was, can I take it and make a comic out of it? I didn't see your response. Or did you? If you took it from someone else, I won't. But if it was yours and you let me make a comic out of it, that would be great.
I really like your sense of humor, Silvar, man, if that's yours, man.
$2. I'm eating a sandwich, man. No, you'd call it a sub or a hoagie.
This is misogyny. Only the women paying taxes is disgraceful.
That's true. I even agree with her. It is misogyny. $5 from Column Rock. Fight communism. Yeah, fight the matriarchy. Fight the matriarchy. Don't let the women pay your taxes for you. Come on. This is silly. All right, 3 more up to the 25, and we'll continue with this cliche man. So frustrating. Chase, how do you feel about all of this, Chase? Because Chase is in music. He has to deal with being able to navigate people's talents and their skill and their artistry and separate their sort of personal identity and their politics. And it's like, honestly, it's tough for me. It's a tough task. I honestly, I can't do the job of adequately separating it. I know people say it's possible. I might hold a different view on that. I think it might not be possible. You know, they used to say that about, who's that pervert director who abused and arred kids and then ran off to like Poland or something? What was his name? And you know what? He still got awards in Hollywood, and they were all giving speeches. They're well, we have to separate the artist from the art. And it's like, no. How can you do that? Palansky and Allen. Palansky and Woody Allen. There's the same cope from Hollywood. Oh, you got to separate the artist from the art. There's some partial truth to that, but I don't think you can just do that. Like, you know what I mean? You can try and get to some spot where you separated them, but I think the tendons are together. It's like stretching muscle away, and you're like, so you got to be able to separate them. And you're like, yeah, but the strands are still connected, man. One time I kicked off the sprinkler head, and I thought that made the world orgasm, man. Yeah, what were you on, Galactic Contradiction, man? That's wild, man. That's wild. Become a citizen and join the nobility. Yeah, $5 from Snagglebees. Sale of titles is authorized in Jortlandia. Join our ranks or get out. Yeah, it's pay to play here. Pay to play. Just like the media. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, Pope Biscuit, $5. We must fight decades of misandry by making women pay taxes, especially if they can't cook. That's the one aspect of like the separation of men and women and their roles that I kind of slightly disagree with. I think cooking is mostly a masculine trait, but it's types of cooking that are feminine traits. So I think that cooking for a lot of people, simple foods for some reason, is like more feminine. And then I think making really good food that's like really like sort of precise and like crafted is a masculine trait. Does anyone agree with me? Do you guys like me? Jack the Guitar God, $5. If you need to separate the art from the artist, then what about Little Mustache Man, right? They won't say the same thing about him. Yeah, that actually is funny. That's funny. No Juthive, no Peeth, no Kang. Oh, I think are you talking in Mike Tyson voice? No Justice. No, oh, Justice. Sorry. The E threw me off. No justice, no peace, no kanks. No thanks. Are you saying no thanks? No kanks.
I want to be a musician. Now, I was brought up hard. I was brought up hard on the streets. I always want to be a fighter. I want to kill somebody. I want to take the breath away. I want to take your breath away. But now, in my older age, I'm getting a little soft, you know. It's okay. I want to be a singer-songwriter. I want to sing a song. I want to sing a song.
My wife cooks really slow and asks too many questions, so I fired her and I do all the cooking. I'm with you on masculine cooking dominance. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's I don't know where that started, where it was like, the whole get in the kitchen thing, I kind of agree with the rhetoric of it, but I don't agree literally with it. Kitchen is like a spaceship. It's like a cockpit. Making food is like being a pilot. It's like being a captain. All right. We'll get back to this burnout. Why? Because it's important. Man. Unless you guys have something else. Give me something else. I'll review this until someone makes a better suggestion. How about that? Because I think we pummeled them. I think we know what we're dealing with here. And I didn't know when I started this analysis, if you want to call it that. I didn't know that I would arrive at the view that I think he's faking his writing. I really didn't, because I didn't want to think that, because that's the thing I appreciate him for. But now that I see that it's a disconnect, that there's no consistency between his ability to write songs, quote, perform them every day, a new one, Every day there's a new one. And he doesn't talk at all the way he writes. He can't do it.
Apocalypse Now.
Sure.
With was it Francis Ford Coppola, and he's got like Martin Sheen and Marlon Brando and Dennis Hopper and Robert Duvall and all those cool cats and
Cats. Bingo. Who got bingo? Who got bingo? All those cool cats. Of course he says cats.
Man,
dope movie, but it's written on this premise of a book that was written in like 1899 by Joseph Conrad, like Heart of Darkness.
Oh, wow, it's that old?
And Heart of Darkness was talking about a conquest of, I believe, the Dutch, I'm not sure, into, if you realize at that point that nothing has ever changed and that there's something primeval in man with this violence, that this violence is innate. Or, is this violence innate? Is this how folks are and there's no helping it and there's nothing that's ever going to change?
Yeah, it's innate. You know why? Because listening to you makes me feel violent! The irony of this guy being like,
a violence, man. What's it all start from?
it starts from you, bro. It starts from you. The irony is you just made several thousand people violent just by talking. This dude is a love child of Theo Vaughn and a muskrat. Oh, it's so insufferable, man. Turbo Diesel, $10. Please review those annoying vegans, a day in the life of chickens. They're keeping chickens in wheelchairs. That's hilarious. Nice. That's actually funny.
Because you can get kind of cynical that way, or, and I kind of tend on this more idealistic, and at times it seems naive or stupid to have an ideal that folks could live in harmony. And
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man.
I got a joke here. You helped lead me to orthodoxy. I can't say no to you reusing my bad puns.
Thank you. I'm gonna rip that pun and draw it. Silvar, I really appreciate that.
peace without taking one another's lives, you know?
You can't. Why? Because peace assumes the threat of violence, okay, Jesse? I know you haven't thought about this because you didn't use ChatGPT to ask it a question, but the reality is any place there's harmony needs to be protected from disharmony, if you use that paradigm. And so the problem, Jesse Welles, is that you can't have a place of harmony with a boundary on it without using force and violence to protect against people who want to cause disharmony. So borders are necessary, guns are necessary, death ends up being necessary. Why is that, Jesse? Because there is an aggressor. You know what I mean? Stick to ChatGPT folk activist songs, bro. I think this is a disservice, honestly. I think the whole structure of Joe Rogan plucking out people who are famous overnight and having them talk about things that they didn't get famous for talking about, like, it's such a misstep. It's a misstep. You know what I mean? Hawk Tuah got famous for being drunk on the side of a street and talking about spitting on a ding dong. That's what she got famous for, and now she's doing a circuit. She did a circuit. This is a mistake. Oh, look, he made songs. So let's get his take on everything right now. What? Wouldn't it make more sense if he played a set, Joe Rogan? If Joe Rogan started almost like a tiny desk music, whatever you call that. You know what I mean? He set people up. Minimal, acoustic. Jesse Welles plays some songs. He talks minimally in between the songs, but he plays a show on the Joe Rogan. That would be much better for Joe Rogan and the world. Why are we expecting to hear everything, every opinion about everything from this guy when the only thing that got him to the top is not doing that? Is actually singing. Certainly, I'd much rather have him sing a song than talk at this point. Jeez. I am an OC, trying to understand radiometric dating. Nothing I read makes sense. Have you other ortho bro on deep? Some of the people on my server have. The problem with all of the dating methods ultimately is that it relies on the assumption of the accuracy of another dating method. So if you ask someone who appeals to radiometric dating how they know the accuracy or the margin of error, they then compare it to another thing that they're assuming the date of. And the only examples they have in real time are things like trees, but the problem with that is that you could actually know and compare your dating to the date of the tree because you have access to the date of the tree. But that would be the critique. But there's probably some videos. They'd be buried on YouTube, but you can find them for sure.
The problem is they've never done it before.
That's mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling.
Because it is in all. I think it's in a lot of us, deep down.
Well, it has to be. Because that's the only way we survived. That's the only way we got to where we are today.
Right.
Because we existed before language, we existed before empathy, before we understood each other, before we could communicate.
Yeah.
So any being that you didn't know from somewhere else wanted what you had, and they would try to take it by force. So the bigger, stronger ones survived, and that's why the best genetics kept going and going and going. I mean, it was just survival of the fittest. It exists in nature and exists with humans. And that's the basis of our DNA, unfortunately. Like, that's how we started, right? And so that the way it manifests itself today is fucking drone warfare.
Right.
And bombs and, dropping bunker busters out of B-2s. That's what it is. Or B-12. Is that what it is? The B-12? What's the big one?
B2.
B-2?
B12 is a shot, Joe. He's confusing a bomber for one of the shots he does in his bathroom. That's what Jesse wants, though, man. Why are we dropping B2s when we should be dropping B12s, man? Man, can I get a bite of your sandwich, man? Man, can I get a bite of your Subway, man? Is that Jersey Mike's, man? Oh, man, that's my favorite, man. Jersey Mike's is my favorite, man.
Feels like it should be a bigger number because it looks like a spaceship. You see how they flew it over Putin?
He even has the junky laugh. I mean, who is this guy?
Putin, like, look at my dick.
He even has the junky laugh.
My flying dick. Dur, 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 dur.
Ooh, that's good. Who does the editing with Joe Rogan where it's awkwardly edited? That's this one's gonna be definitely on that.
See, Trump did that when Putin was in Alaska. They flew a bomber over his head. Like, what are we doing? Why are we flying the radar-resistant bomber over Putin's head?
It sounds like a show of force.
Look at my dick.
Yeah, this is what these games.
Joe Rogan, man, what is going on with you?
But like, is it? Yeah, I wonder, is it within humans to
Junior, you're telling me this guy can punch out 2 or 3 songs a day? Is that what you're telling me?
exist in peace without
well, we certainly
like,
can
could it be done
in small groups, right? Like if you, me, and Jamie, I've said this before, but about other guests, if we were on an island all together, we wouldn't lock each other up. We wouldn't.
You could actually. Well, you don't know what you would do on an island, Joe. The moment you're on an island, you have a government. Someone's got to be the leader. You're gonna have a disagreement. Guess what? If you start running out of food, the disagreements are going to occur with a higher level of risk. So like the in other words, the what's the phrase? Like the threat is higher, the risks are higher. And so, dude, this is a crazy game. There's 3 of us on an island. No, that's intense, dude. Someone might lose their crap, dude, on an island, Joe. Might be Jamie, it might be you, it might be someone else. They start panicking. They start making poor decisions. They're putting you at risk. Guess what you have to do? You have to use force to potentially stop them from hurting you or themselves. What are you saying?
And we just
Has everyone gone crazy?
we just
work
figure it
together.
out. Like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go fishing today.
Yeah.
We need firewood. You want to get the firewood?
I'm gonna
Okay.
go for a long jog.
Okay.
That's what he's bringing to the table. Joe Rogan's gonna go hunting for boar. Jamie's gonna get firewood, and he's gonna go for a jog and come back with a song. Wow, let's have this guy on our team.
Okay. Get that jog in.
Okay.
Get your cardio in. But you know what I'm saying? like we wouldn't. There's only a limited amount of us. We wouldn't have a need to go to war.
He just disproved it. I mean, he just disproved it. If there's 3 of you, what you're going to do is you're going to have to break up your skills, and each person is going to have to offer something to the other. That's what happens. The economy exists like right there. And what's funny is that guy was like, I'm going to go for a jog, or I'm going to sing poetry to you guys around the fire, and that's what I bring. Well, Joe's going to be like, no, that's not fair, dude. I'm hunting, you're jogging, he's getting firewood, you're writing a poem.
And most war today is about resources. Most war today is about controlling parts of the world where there's an infinite amount of money in the ground, whether it's oil or now.
Hunting, get water, take a jog. Who doesn't belong? Yeah, who doesn't belong in this scenario? I know who's getting eaten. Not a lot of meat, but it's Jesse Welles. I know who's the first to get scalped. It's the one with the hair. Let's just share a hookah pipe, man, and go for a jog, man.
It's rare earth minerals and stuff they need for batteries, and that's what a lot of it is. I mean, that's what a lot of conflict is in this world, and that's gross. It's scary. It's scary, but if you ask the average person, like, what are the odds that there will be no more war in your lifetime? And they'll say 0%.
Yeah.
Everyone will say 0%.
It's so far out. It's just I think the folks that go to war, like if you signed up and went to Iraq and in like 03, 06 or so, and you're securing, or no, maybe not Iraq, but you're going to Afghanistan and you're securing opium fields and stuff, and you're out there, you're risking your life, you got the gun on, you are prepared to take somebody's life, but for what? And like
we need opium. What are you asking?
But we'll fight. Like, we'll fight. We'll fight.
You can do it, Jesse. You can do it. Is he looking at a word bank? Is there a... Dude needs a teleprompter.
Seems like for the sake of the hunt or something like that.
If you ask the soldiers when they were signing up, hey, do you want to go to Afghanistan and guard poppy fields? They've been like, what? No, I want to fight terrorism, motherfucker. I want to stop the people that did 9/11 from doing it again. That's why a lot of people signed up. But then the reality kicks in once you're standing around poppy fields with a machine gun, and you're like, oh, this is a scam. And, I don't know
This is every high schooler after smoking pot for the first... Totally.
how much internet access.
That's why Murder the Meteor, I'm like, so now I'm really it's suspect, because the guy is right now the most prolific singer-songwriter lyricist there is, and you look at his songs and it's packed with associations and good puns and information and like knowledge. Like there are true facts in a lot of his songs. But in real time, none of it's there.
They had while they were over there, but if they did and they ever Googled what percentage.
I think it's faker, dude. I think it's fully AI. I think this guy's going to be found out. I think all of his songs are, I think we're seeing right now in real time, there's no way his songs, the pure volume of lyrical genius is nowhere to be found in this guy's mind.
Of all heroin comes from Afghanistan. Yeah. The answer they would have got is 94%.
Yeah.
And they would have been like, wait,
so,
what is this?
So then it takes a larger, it takes... essentially a psyop in order...
Psyop, you say?
...to get men to fight for the interests of the people who are performing the psyop.
Yeah, maybe you think it takes a psyop to get the men to not perform. Maybe that's what you are, Jesse Wells. Maybe you look at it like, okay, well, the reality is it takes a psyop to get men to go fight for someone else's war. Maybe it takes a psyop to get them to stay. Maybe you're a psyop.
Yes, you have to create a psyop that puts a narrative out there that makes it noble for us to be doing what we're doing.
Noble. We're such suckers. Yeah. It's a noble cause. What's more noble than letting somebody live?
Yeah, we're less suckers.
Not letting everyone live? What are you talking about, pansy ass? If someone, right, not all war is this, but like this view that like killing itself can't be noble. Of course it could be noble.
Now than ever before, but yes, a lot of us are suckers for these narratives.
Well, I'm a sucker for it.
Oh, I am too.
Everyone is.
Did you ever read that War is a Racket? Smedley
Butler.
Did you ever read it?
No.
It's really good.
No, but I did chat GPT some of the quotes, put it in my song.
It's not long.
Yeah.
It's really good, and it is essentially outlining what we're talking about, but it was in 1933.
Right.
And Smedley Butler, who when he went to all these places and did all these wars, he thought that he was doing good. He thought he was protecting people. But then at the end of his career, when it all, like, the fog of war had kind of faded, and he recognized the patterns, like...
Patterns. Sir Christopher, he's a decent songwriter, but profound, question mark? That's what I'm putting in question, actually, is whether or not he's writing any songs.
Oh, each time. Pull it up, Jamie, just so we can get a look.
Pull it up, Jamie.
Was Smedley the one where there was a coup and they had asked him to...
They asked
Mark Wahlberg's crack child?
him to take, They asked him to overthrow the fucking government of the United States of America.
A documentary I used to watch by Francis O'Connelly, I think is his name, but it's called Everything's a Rich Man's Trick, and he would always talk about Smedley D. Butler.
Yeah, he was a bad man. In a service the United States taught to open a Pelican box, so the gave them.
Yeah.
Foreign against
Who was that?
1930. No one prosecuted. You would think that might put you in jail. You're trying to overthrow the fucking government.
These folks get away with it.
But it's kind of crazy. No one was prosecuted, although no one was prosecuted. The Congressional Committee...
Like the Mandalay Bay thing. Like there's a lot of
Vegas
theories
one's weird.
behind
That's a weird one. That's a weird one.
That one's that's gonna bother me forever. Because that one actually happened while I was awake and paying attention, and it just nothing lines up with it.
You weren't there, were you? Were you in Vegas at the time?
No. I was sitting in Nashville, but I just meant I was paying attention.
Yeah, that was a crazy one.
So uncomfortable. I'm really uncomfortable.
And there's multiple reports of more than one person shooting. And then there was like, how did he get 400 pounds of equipment
He's way too stupid for that combo.
into his room without anybody noticing it?
Yeah. The casinos.
Detonate the bomb. Put it on there. Put it, Jamie.
Here, let's look at Jesse's eyes. I'm going to try to judge his eyes, whether or not he's thinking These people think I wrote this and it wasn't ChatGPT.
Find it. You
take a
know,
look.
like real true
Let's do some real armchair psychologizing, shall we? Let's
philanthropy.
do some pure, unadulterated, unjustified speculation.
When you're giving money away because you're just a
My brain cells are dying.
kind person is wonderful. It's beautiful.
See, he can play. He can play.
When I was just a boy, my mama asked me this. She said, son, what do you want to be? I said, a big philanthropist with date as my oil. And illness is my business. With guns as my retirement and war as my mistress. I'm gonna be...
This has got AI all over it. This has got ChatGPT all over it. You can't unsee it now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wanted to like him. I wanted there to be a really good needle in a haystack, lyrical, performative genius. I wanted it so bad. But dude, this has got AI all over it. The phrasing.
Me an oligarch with a whole bunch of rockets. I'd get them two sides fighting and I'd empty both of their pockets. And if I got bored or money weary, I'd try my hand in dabbling in social engineering. I'm gonna be a billionaire.
Dude, it's over. It's over. I don't believe a sec of it. Does it still make it a good song even if it's ChatGPT? It does, actually. Against all of the musical purists out there, I still say you can make a good song with AI. You can fusion it, you can synthesize it. So if that's what he's doing, fine. It's not about doing it. It's about if that's what's happening and it's not what's being said, that's where the deception is. And is it justified from his view because it's activism and making a spark? Maybe that's what he thinks. I'm telling you, man. I 100% believe at this point, only after this interview did I come to this conclusion, that this guy is writing his songs, producing a lot of them because ChatGPT is writing them, and he's able to do these. Why do I say this? I'll move on to another topic, but just in conclusion, there's nothing about who he was and how he spoke and what he talked about and how he talked about it on this podcast that gives me any indication that he has the capacity to spill out this much volume of lyrical musings. And I don't think so.